Hello and welcome back to my small little library. Today's video is going to be February's TBR, and I'm doing it the same as last month. I think it worked quite well, and so yeah, instead of changing it every time and never like really settling on one, I'm gonna try this one for a little bit longer, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it will work. Yeah, I've finally fixed my hair, as you can see, and I'm quite happy with it. I'm also trying to record my sound together with my screen recording, so I'm hoping that maybe the video will sound a little bit better. I'm not sure, but I noticed that my camera, I always have like this background noise in there and I can't get it out with the editing software. I have no idea how, and I haven't found like a solution. So hopefully this video also sounds better, but we'll see. At some point I will try to get like a microphone, but that's just not in the budget at the moment. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I still have like, I think, well, today's is the 26th, so there are 5 days still in the month. I think 4 or 5 days. I have read all but one book, and that one book is The Way of Kings, and that will go over into the next month. I've decided I will do 7 books each and every month, and then I will take all the books over that I hadn't read last month, and I will pull them over as long as I haven't read them, so that at some point I'm forced to read them to finally be able to like have them gone, either read them or just DNF them and yeah, just not deal with them, because I hate putting books back on the shelves every now and then putting them back out, putting them back on the shelf. I think that's just annoying for me and probably annoying for you if I'm again and again like, yeah, I'm gonna read this, and then I never read it. So yeah, I'm gonna pull The Way of Kings over. It's lying back there, and yeah, that I will probably start in the next month, but probably in the next few days, but I won't finish it most likely this month. So we'll see. But yeah, let's start with the first spin. And the first spin is a fantasy book, so let's find something. Okay, so for a fantasy book, I've decided to read David Eddings' Enchantress Endgame. This is the 5th book in the Bulgarian series, and yeah, I obviously need to finally finish it. It is quite some time since I've read the 4th one, though I do still remember it quite good, so that is great. And yeah, this is part 5 and the conclusion of the series. Before the next one starts, which I also own completely, so I do have to finish this one finally so that I finally can start the next one. And yeah, this is a fantasy series where you have our main character, and in the first book he starts very, very, very young, and pretty much he's, well, kind of the chosen one trope, but actually it's just that his family legacy means that he is the one with the powers, and he doesn't know that at the beginning. And yeah, this is part 5. We are at the end fight, the end conflict, and yeah, I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. So this is actually a really good first pick. Okay, let's do spin number 2, and let's see, hopefully not another fantasy. Would be nice to have something different. And the second one is a horror book. Wow. I do need to read more Stephen King, so let's see. Okay, so I decided to go with Dr. Sleep for the horror book. I want to get it done, to be honest. I've heard that it's not as good as The Shining, and this is the second part of The Shining, where the main character is the son of the first book. And yeah, I'm kind of interested to see where it goes, even though I have already heard that it's supposed to not be as good as the first one. So yeah, hopefully I do still like it. I mean, I like most Stephen King novels, so I do still have high hopes for it. But yeah, I think I have so many more Stephen King books that I need to get through, and yeah, why not pick up one of his? And yeah, with that, we are already at the third spin. Which is prompt cards. Okay. Here are all the prompt cards. Let's pick one. It's an orange one. A book outside of your comfort zone. I have one that I need to read anyways, and I talked about it in my vlog, but it's one of the newest books that I've gotten in my book boxes, and it's called Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, I think it's called. She's called. But yeah, this is pretty much a romance novel. Our main character, Emily Wilde, studies fairies, and she goes to like this remote town to study some, well, different kinds of fairies, I think. And her nemesis fairy scholar is also there, and well, obviously it's enemies to lovers, I assume from the description. And yeah, it's I really don't like that trope. It's really outside of my comfort zone, even though this is technically a fantasy book. Well, not technically, it is a fantasy book. But yeah, the romance part, which is mentioned in like the blurb, yeah, makes it so that it is outside my comfort zone, but I do really want to read it. Also, I think this is one of the prettiest like color combinations, the turquoise minty color with like the lilac, also like the stenciled edges. Really, really pretty book. Yeah, it's kind of fitting with my hair color. But yeah, so this is outside my comfort zone, and so it will be nice to have read it so I know if I like it or not. And yeah, a good third pick. Now, until spin 4. Ooh, and spin 4 is a sci-fi book. Well, I'm gonna go with a sci-fi book I'm kind of a little bit afraid about. This is Philip K. Dick's A Scanner Darkly. It is a book about drugs, and we have kind of like a dystopian city, and there's a drug that is going rampant, and people are pretty much dying because of it. It makes your brain to mush, and yeah, it's a really horrible drug. And our main character is a cop, and he's supposed to like, yeah, manage the drug consume and get the drugs off the street. And to do that, he kind of has to go undercover, and yeah, obviously there's gonna be a lot of problems. Yeah, I really like Philip K. Dick as an author, and I like his stories, but I've started like the first few pages, and oh, there's a lot of like jargon that is hard for me to read, and that seemed quite, well, a little bit annoying, if to be honest. And so yeah, I'm a little bit afraid of this book, but it is a sci-fi book, and I do really want to read it to know if it's just the first few pages, you know. And so yeah, I will do this as book number 4. And you know, that also means that for the moment all of the books are rather smaller than larger, which is really, really nice, because last month the books were really large again, and I'm really struggling with only reading large books. It's really I don't know, I mean, I own a lot of large books, but sometimes I just need shorter books in between. Yeah, now let's do spin number 5. And it's the prompt cards again. Hopefully we won't get the same prompt card. Otherwise I will have to add another book, just because like the prompt cards aren't coming up that often. So I'm thinking that if I get 2, I have to add another book. But yeah, I'm just gonna take the uppermost card, which is the same color as the last one, which isn't a good sign. book set in summer. Oh, do I know when my books are set? Okay, I found a book that is set in summer. To be honest, I find it quite hard to find out when a book is set. A lot of books just don't tell you that. So yeah, I found one, and that is a German book. This is The Labyrinth of the Dreaming books, the second book in the series. The first one I've read a few months back. Did I read it in December? Which is The City of Dreaming books. This is the second one. It is set 200 years after the first one, and the main character is the same because he has a really long lifespan. And yeah, it starts at a nice summer morning, so I think that counts as playing in summer. I just don't have any other choice. Yeah, but we have our dragon again. Yeah, he is well, let's talk about what he is in the first book. He is a poet, as are all the dragons in this world of Zemonian. And in the first one, he goes to Buchheim, which is Buchheim in well, I don't know the translation, but book home, maybe. And yeah, he goes there and searches for an author, and this is now the second book with him as the main character again, and it is 200 years after, so he's now like an older adult, and he goes back for different reasons. And yeah, I haven't ever read this one. I have read the first one quite a few times, and I'm really happy to continue with the second one. I really love Walter Mörs, who's the author of that. A really great author, and I really love the books set in Zemonian, so I'm really happy to continue with that one. So I'm really happy that it is set in summer. Now, we're at the 6th turn. And for that we have a free choice. Well, let's see what we're doing for... Oh, I know what I'm gonna do for free choice. I kind of don't really want to read it, but I promised myself I would continue the series, and this one is The Chessmen of Mars, the 5th book in the Martian series by Edgar Rice Burroughs, with John Carter as the main character in the first 3, and then the 4th one, his son was the main character. And so, yeah. We'll see who the main character is in this one, but I'm thinking it's probably the son of John Carter again, but we'll see. And yeah, these books are really formulaic. I enjoyed the first few, like the first 2 to 3. The 4th one was just annoying, so hopefully this one maybe isn't as formulaic, but I don't have high hopes, to be honest. I'm just happy that they're really short books. This one has roughly 200 pages, so it isn't a long read at least, but I do really want to get through all 11 of them, so yeah, I have to continue with this one, which is book 6. So now the last spin for February, which I'm happy with because February is a short month, so I'm kind of happy that all of the books are shorter, because I also have to read The Way of Kings Part 2 with all of them. Buy a book is the next one. Well, that is nice. Let's buy a book. I can't do I want to screen sharing for this one. But I will look. I have some books that I really need to buy to continue some series, so let's look those up. I mean, I could go with the expense for... Okay, so I found a book I'm gonna buy. In the last few months, I kind of wanted to read more thrillers, and actually I own very little. The ones I do own are James Patterson and Clive Cussler, but I don't own the complete series, and I just need to look up where I need to start with those. And I have one book that somebody, I think on my Instagram, recommended to me, I think quite a while ago, and that is The Bed by Joe Nesbo, which is the first book in his Harry Hole series and his debut roman, and so I decided to buy that one. It isn't that expensive. And I can buy it as a paperback. They don't have the the bound copy on Amazon, but to be honest, I think that especially thriller and even especially older books, you can't often get those anymore. So I'm gonna buy the paperback and I will read that then. And if I buy it now, it will be here for the start of the month. So that is quite nice. But yeah, that is the 7th book. And I'm actually really happy with the books that I will read. And we have to put The Way of Kings on top of there because that is the last book I haven't read last month. So I have to read this month. And let's just like hope that I get to it. But at the moment, I really struggle with bigger books, and that is the reason I'm really struggling with starting The Way of Kings, because it just feels too much sometimes, and yeah, it's not that nice to have like so much pressure on your reading, so I'm trying to not have that much pressure on my reading. But yeah, we'll see, and yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you've read any of those books that were in the video, please tell me if you liked them or not, so I might be happier to read them or not as happy to read them, who knows. But yeah, if you liked it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!